you might be missing some of the benefits that stereo can provide.
Hello everyone, Captain Paladin LP here. Welcome to another edition of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. In the last episode, we crossed the Gerudo Desert and crossed the Haunted Wasteland, and now made our way to get Nabooru's Love in the Desert Colossus, which is also known as the entrance to this Spirit Temple, or whatever you want to call it. Mara made me say something like that. I don't know why, but anyway, Spirit Temple. Okay. Anyway, wow. And then in this episode, we're going to be continuing the Spirit Temple. Yeah, I'm just going to say Spirit. I'm sorry. But anyway, we're going to get ourselves a bug here in this marketplace, because we are going to need one bug for a gold Skulltula that we're about to get. So, go ahead and buy one. And yesterday, pardon me, yesterday we completed our very first Versus on Super Mario 64, and I'm glad we got that done. I came in second place for the episode, which is pretty darn good for someone who is not as skilled as I am at this point. I have not played it in a long time, but overall I was happy with my results, and I'll let you guys know when and where the first episode will be posted. But now we go to put Nabooru's Love on it. Put on the LP? No. Put it on ourselves so we can go ahead and cross the desert here without these levers trolling us all the way through the time. So, gonna need our magic beans, and we'll eventually need our bug. And as a reminder, when you use Nabooru's Love, you cannot use any other magic item, so you're kind of stuck with, with that protective barrier until the Nabooru's Love effect disappears. So, having said that, we're going to go ahead and get our bug back. Go ahead and sell it. And wait for the spider to come out. And that makes number 88. Alright. Looks like we still have a few places left to get a gold Skulltula. But other than that, but fortunately, since this is my first episode in a while, it's actually warming up outside, so it's kind of like, it's very nice to have spring here in full force. But it's supposed to get cool again coming up, but usually April is the roller coaster month anyways, for Wisconsin anyway. But go ahead here. We've got flying pots. Well, we did flying pots earlier. I'm going to go ahead and switch to our Hylian shield. Oh, hello there. Looks like we have a visitor who just looking inside a hole. Better not be the L hole. No comment intended. But let's see here. Let's approach her cautiously. Oh, hello there, madam. I haven't seen you around here, kid. What do you want? Nothing. Except I like your long hair. You have nothing to do. What good timing. Can you do me a favor? Wait a second. I want to ask you first. You wouldn't happen to be one of Ganondorf's ... followers, would you? I hate Ganondorf. Uh-huh. That's right. You got guts. I think I like you. Well, gosh. First of all, let me introduce myself. I am Nabooru of the Gerudo. I'm a lone wolf thief. But don't get me wrong. Though we're both thieves, I'm completely different from Ganondorf. With his followers, he stole from women and children, and he even killed people. A kid like you may not know this, but the Gerudo race consists of only women. Only one man is born every 100 years. Even though our laws say that a lone male Gerudo must become a king of the Gerudo, I'll never bow down to such an evil man. More ways than one? No, I'm just kidding. Paladin. My name is Paladin. Yes, it's Paladin. Have gun will travel. I don't have a cheesy mustache like the one in I Have Gun Will Travel. I want to ask you a favor. Will you go through this tiny hole and get the treasure that's inside? The treasure is the Silver Gauntlets. If you equip them, you can easily push and pull very heavy things. No, kid. Don't even think about taking this treasure for yourself. The Silver Gauntlets won't fit a little kid like you if you try to equip them. I want you to be a good boy and give them to me. Ooh, okay. Ganondorf and his minions are using the Spirit Temple as a hideout. Only the Silver Gauntlets would allow me to sneak deep into the temple. Once there, I'm going to steal all the treasure inside and mess up their plans. How about it? Will you do it? Thanks, kid. Well, of course I will do it. You and I, let's give Ganondorf and his followers a big surprise, shall we? If you can successfully get the Silver Gauntlets, I'll do something great for you. Tempting offer. Let's see here. With that, okay, with that white lipstick and breastplate and chastity belt with chinos and nice tan body and long red hair. My people are... Anyway, alright, well, after that little fantasy, my girlfriend's gonna kill me. My girlfriend is extremely jealous, but to tell you the truth, she doesn't do this LP. She doesn't like doing this LP anymore, so it's my LP. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. Okay. So let's get rid of these bats here. So it looks like Nabooru isn't a big fan of Ganondorf here. That is interesting. Because you remember when we went to the Gerudo Fortress, the Exalted Nabooru was second command, and not only she did what one of the carpenters mentioned that she brainwashed and executed on behalf of Ganondorf. So we have a little bit of a paradox here again. Because we're here 7 years prior. It looks like Nabooru was not a big fan of him. Big fan of his. Who knows if Nabooru was in the plot to begin with, even though that this guy is so freaking annoying. Even though that Nabooru was his second in command, he probably was, specifically chose Nabooru just to keep her from defecting to, becoming a traitor or something like that, because, Nabooru never wanted to be, such a ruthless thief like that Ganondorf had become, so it's sort of like, a little bit of hint, a rebellion, maybe. Kind of like that, because there might have been some Gerudo at some point that were never fans of their king. So it's kind of like at this point in time, you know, the Gerudo were disorganized band of thieves. Were more or less kind of like, I guess they never agreed to anything. That's I don't know what else to think about it, but you know, given this, you know, a flying pot, flying pots, okay. Yeah, but Ganondorf, apparently there were some Gerudo who were never big fans of Ganondorf, so somehow he managed to brainwash at least most of them to oh god, I hate this guy. Anubis is vulnerable to fire, but if you get too close to him, he'll spit fire right at you. So the best thing to do is get your Din's fire and just kill him that way. Best way to do it. So yeah, at this juncture, you know, something happened to the Gerudo. I mean, the all-woman race, yes, probably, maybe at this point in time, you know, before, because I guess I'm giving a little bit too much away, because we don't know how Nabooru at this point defected to the Ganondorf side, because, you know, the Gerudo thieves. Now that kind of brings up another question. Why did they give Link membership? That's kind of interesting. Another perspective that's interesting. Did they know about the hero time? Did Ganondorf mention one word? Or were the Gerudo just another one of these means to an end? Oh, and look out. Okay, watch out for the guy that's coming down right on me. Not like that. Get your minds out of the gutter. Talking about this guy, the floor or wall master. But yeah, I mean, kind of brings up an interesting perspective about the Gerudo. Now, sort of another thing that kind of, you know, weirds me, and I'm kind of going to go off on a tangent on this one concerning, you know, the relationship of Skyward Sword, Ocarina of Time, and Wind Waker. Because you realize, I'm not going to spoil too much, but for those of you who never played Wind Waker, I think Ganondorf mentions sort of at near the end of the game about his people going through hard times under Hyrule's rule. I think those of you mentioned Nehru's desert and Skyward Sword being nothing but a wasteland, but also they bring up the story that Nehru was once, you know, a lively place. You remember that, you know, the one of the dungeons for one of the flames there is basically a more or less a pirate ship, and the pirate ship got to places because Nehru region was once, you know, lively before it turned to a desert. Well, kind of the similarity, though, kind of between that and Wind Waker, that Ganondorf mentioned that of a story that his people lived in Nehru region about the same time when Gerudo Desert was once, you know, a lively place before when the goddesses came and turned it into like a burning wasteland. I can't remember the exact quote, but he says something about just like, oh gosh, during the day it was nothing but death and despair through the burning wasteland, and at night where the cold was so immense, where it spawned some death, and it brought death to his people. Because somehow a dry wind just blew over his land, and it's kind of like that. I haven't played Wind Waker in quite a while. For those of you who know what I'm talking about. But we go ahead. After we complete that puzzle in the last area, we go through here. So I thought maybe, just maybe, you know, after thinking about this, maybe the Gerudo are a means to an end. Now, who knows? I mean, Nabooru said she was a lone wolf thief. She acted like she hated Ganondorf. But how the heck, what forced her to become a servant to Ganondorf? Well, we'll find that out here shortly, but we go up here. We got another gold skull toilet right here. Go ahead and pick this one up, and this makes number 89. And, yep, number 89. So we got, so far, 2 in this dungeon. Well, look who's coming to dinner. I haven't seen those in a long time. Yeah, you get to face these again. These are a pain in the butt. I mean, big time in this one. There's 2 in here, so you don't be surprised too much. But you're also a little bit more powerful than he is, even though you're still fighting him with your Kokiri sword. So, and you see that wall there that is cracked. You gotta use your bomb chews to open that wall. Navi's pointing you to that wall there. So you go ahead and make sure. First of all, let's make sure there's no hidden treasures. There doesn't appear any. But that's our objective right there, where Navi's at. So get your bomb chew. That's too far. Probably the best thing to do is just have Navi lock onto it, or just... Oh, there, that's good enough. Never mind. So that switch triggers another chest here. I think it's just 5 rupees. So, but now, go in here. And this is pretty nostalgic. That is the Pharaoh, Nehru's Pharaoh. I mean, this is so Egyptian, it's not funny. That is Gerudian script that's on the walls there. So, go ahead and get our Din's Fire, because we got 2 torches to light, excuse me. Use my, don't want a grammar Nazi. Alright, and in here should be a map, because we have not seen any other big treasures yet in this game, but just to let you know, whatever you do here will carry over into the next part of the dungeon 7 years later. So whatever we don't get, you know, you'll get it into the next part. But let's go ahead, and that will just open a door on the top level there. So we'll just come up and get that in just a minute. Right now we need to climb up here, and push this down. Push it, push it, push it. That should keep that in. That part we cannot get to until we have a hook shot available, and we don't have one available. So we just got to keep going. Right there where Navi's pointing is where Pierre is at. That's a gold Skulltula there. But this is just amazing. This Pharaoh is... I have not been able to look up his name. I'll probably do that next time, but on his other hand, you'll probably see there's a Triforce symbol. So it's kind of like, it's interesting that this guy is evil, but whatever. We're going to end the episode here, but on the next episode, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, we're going to complete the Spirit Temple. So take care, everyone. And that face of evil will haunt you. Take care, everyone.